The summer after I graduated high school, I took a job working nights at a lakeside marina. It was supposed to be easy money. No heavy labor, no customers after dark. Just checking boats in and out, locking up storage sheds, and making sure no one was trespassing after hours. During the day, the marina felt alive. Families walked along the docks, kids laughed and splashed in the shallow water, and music echoed across the lake from anchored boats. The water sparkled under the sun, and everything felt normal, safe. But at night, it was a completely different place. Once the sun went down, the lake turned black. Not dark blue, not reflective, just black. The kind of black that swallowed light instead of reflecting it. The water became so still it looked solid, like a giant sheet of glass stretching endlessly into the darkness. My shift started at 10 p.m. By midnight, I was completely alone. At first, I didn't mind it. The quiet felt peaceful. The only sounds were crickets, distant frogs, and the gentle creaking of dock ropes swaying against metal poles. I'd sit in the small security office, sipping coffee and watching the security cameras, occasionally stepping outside to do a round. The first few weeks were uneventful. No problems, no trespassers, no weird activity. That's when I started noticing the lights. It was always around 1 a.m., at the far end of the lake, just beyond where the dock lights stopped reaching. I'd see a faint glow, a small light drifting slowly across the surface of the water. At first, I assumed it was someone night fishing or maybe a boat without proper lights. But when I checked the marina logs, no boats were scheduled to be out that late. The marina had strict rules. After midnight, all boats were supposed to be docked. What bothered me most was how the light moved. It didn't cut through the water like a boat would. It didn't ripple the surface or create a wake. It just hovered, drifting slowly, stopping, then drifting again, like it was searching for something. Every night, it came a little closer. One night, curiosity got the better of me. I grabbed the old binoculars we kept in the office and stepped out onto the dock. My heart started pounding as I focused on the light. That's when my stomach dropped. The light wasn't attached to any boat. There was nothing beneath it. No hull, no reflection. Just a pale white glow floating inches above the surface of the lake. The water underneath it remained perfectly still, like it wasn't even there. When I lowered the binoculars to blink, the light vanished. I raised them again. It reappeared, closer than before. That was the first time I felt real fear. Over the next few nights, things escalated. The light appeared every night without fail. Sometimes there was one, sometimes two. They'd drift separately, then stop, hovering silently in the darkness. Whenever I stared at them too long, a strange pressure would build behind my eyes, like I wasn't supposed to be looking. Then came the sounds. Soft splashing, gentle at first, like something brushing against the dock supports. I told myself it was fish or drifting debris, but deep down, I knew that wasn't true. One night around 2:30 a.m., I heard something heavier, a loud splash behind me, followed by another, then dragging sounds, slow, wet, deliberate. I turned around, expecting to catch someone climbing out of the lake. A drunk swimmer, maybe a prankster. My flashlight beam swept across the dock. There was no one there, but the wooden planks were soaked, and there were footprints, bare footprints. They were large, water-filled, and impossibly fresh. I watched in frozen silence as they continued across the dock, away from the lake. Each step left a glistening trail under the flashlight beam. I followed them until they reached the edge of the parking lot. And then they just stopped, like whoever made them had vanished into thin air. The next day, I asked one of the older dock workers if anyone ever swam in the lake at night. He went quiet. Too quiet. Then he asked me where I'd heard that. When I told him about the lights, his face turned pale. He didn't say much after that. Just told me to stay inside the office at night and not go looking for things. A few days later, I did my own research. That's when I found the article. Years earlier, during the same summer month, a local teenager had drowned in that exact spot near the docks. Witnesses said they'd been swimming at night and disappeared beneath the water. Their body was never found. The article mentioned something else too. Multiple reports of strange lights on the lake in the weeks following the disappearance.